that is the flour. As I said earlier, I'll use half of my 2 kg. So that is about a kg. I don't really have a measuring cup or a scale, but I'll just use my eyes. So we're going to use half of this. And this roughly makes about 10 to 12 chapatis. And that should be enough for an average family of 3 or 4.
So can you tell us how much flour you think, how many cups of flour do you think this is, Priscah?
So this is 2 kgs. I'm going to use half of it. That will be about 1 kilogram.
This looks about maybe 6 or 8 cups of flour. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it will say an estimate 6 or 7.
Yeah. Maybe 4.
4 cups.
4 cups.
Okay. I don't know what kind of cups you're using, but yeah, 4 cups. So that is enough flour. We'll use it later. So I'll need a tablespoon. So about 2 tablespoons of sugar.
So
2 tablespoons of sugar.
While Priscah is measuring the sugar, I should just add that she does have some butternut squash. That is about a small butternut squash. She's boiling on the stove. So this is a special touch. It's going to be a nice, healthy addition to the chapatis.
Yeah. You can add any other ingredients to your preference. Some people add carrots. Some people add onions. But the traditional chapatis was actually so basic. Just wheat flour, salt, oil, and that's it. So these other things is because of the healthy consciousness that we've developed over time. So people prefer healthy additives to the ingredients. So I'm going to add sugar.
Now salt.
Sorry. I'm going to add salt. A tablespoon would be enough.
1 tablespoon.
Yes, 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
So the ratio is you make it have a little more sugar than salt if you prefer to add sugar. Otherwise, some people would just add salt and that will be enough. So yeah, I'll just add, that is a tablespoon of salt. Oh, if the salt.
Yeah. Great. Is anyone cooking with us? Anyone cooking? Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Awesome.
And Anita. Nice. Anyone else cooking with us? Lauren is based in Washington, D.C., Anita in Maryland.
So I was just following some recipes online and I saw interesting chapatis made from semolina. Do you have Nigerian friends joining us? Oh, West Africa. Semolina is, yeah. So I saw an interesting recipe with semolina.
Oh.
So we'll just mix the dry ingredients.
So let me show everyone.
We mix the dry ingredients. This is a lot of chapatis. Yeah.
I think it's more than 4 cups.
Yeah. It's like maybe 5 or something.
And how long would you mix it for, or how do you know you're done?
I would say until you cannot see a trace of the different ingredients, dry ingredients that we've added.
So fully blended.
Yeah. So again, this also depends with the quantity of flour.
And you're also using a wooden spoon. Could one use a whisk, for instance?
Yes.
So you can whisk the.
So this should be ready. We're going to blend
the butternut squash now.
Yes.
Okay, great. Are you going to cool them down a bit? Maybe
not really.
No?
Yes.
Okay, so you're blending it hot.
Yeah, because I'll use warm water. Yeah.
Priscah's sous chef today. And this is the first time she's visiting me in my home. So
yeah. Well, I'm supposed to have this in my house.
Right. So, okay, so we're now blending the butternut squash while it's hot. And do you add any water in the blender?
Yes.
Okay.
And the beauty with the butternut, if you feel it's a little more, you can make soup.
Okay.
To be your
Oh,
starter.
to make a butternut squash soup.
Yes.
So this leftover
So-
piece here. Nice.
Okay, I'll just add some warm water to make the paste.
It's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah. Do you need me to blend? Here, I can let it. How much water did you add in there?
Just enough to cover the dry butternut.
So I think it was about 2 cups, about 2.5 cups or so of water.
Yeah, so we have our butternut paste. So we are going to slowly add now the liquid ingredients to our dry ingredients. So this should be enough. If you don't feel like you want your chapatis too yellow, just add a little. The rest you can make soup with.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you're adding in little by little.
Yes.
Yeah, about ½ cup at a time.
Yes. So.
And you just judge by the yellowness, how yellow you want your chapatis?
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, it's just an added nutrient to our chapati.
I've never had butternut in chapatis, so this is exciting.
You want to go healthy.
Yeah.
So you can do this to both your white and brown chapatis.
Okay.
It's perfectly okay.
Great.
So just add all of it. And try to mix in the whole flour. There we go.
Oh, look, we have a little one helping out. Hi, Sophia. Hi.
So we try to make.
We make it like you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Welcome, Sophia. You're making chapatis.
So if we're using water, should we just add water at this point?
We try to mix the butternut paste with the whole flour. If you feel it's mixed enough, it's fine. You can add your water.
Oh, we're not using paste. We don't have the butternut paste.
Okay, so if you're not using the butternut, what should people be doing now?
Any vegetable of your tastes.
Okay.
You can do pumpkin.
Okay.
You can even do sweet potatoes.
Okay. And if you don't have any vegetable at this stage, what
fine.
would you be doing?
You add water.
So you'd add water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How much water?
Can I really tell how much water? But until your paste is
Like a
not
dough?
very fluid.
Right, but like
Yeah.
a dough.
Yes.
Okay, so just about maybe about a cup or 2 of water to turn it into a dough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how much butternut we put in there. It was about 2 or so cups.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
So I think my butternut is well mixed, my butternut paste. I'm going to add water little by little as I need. At this point, I'll use my hand. I think my hands will be faster and better.
Okay.
So I had some boiled water, but I mixed cold water to make it warm.
Okay. So
Because when it's too hot, the dough becomes so light.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have warm water.
Okay.
So I'll add little by little.
So those that are following along, are you with us? We have warm water that was already pre-boiled in a kettle. And we also have, she's going to put a few cups in there. And I guess we should measure how many cups for those of you that are following along.
Can I use this?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So
let's see how many cups of water it turns out to be.
okay, we use that. Right?
Yeah, so that's, we're going to fill this
So
up.
the trick with water is
1.
you add slowly by slowly.
Okay, so put in a cup
So
and
that
then
you don't
knead.
put extra.
Okay,
So I'll just use my hands
okay.
for now.
So you're kneading
But
the
if
dough.
you have a mixer,
Mhm.
it's fine.
Okay,
Use your mixer.
okay.
It's hot
Yeah.
because of the butternut. So you mix. Another trick about your dough you will know it's ready. For you to stop doing the mixing, you'll know it's ready when it doesn't touch the sides of the ball or you're working. Yeah?
That's a great way to see that you have enough.
Yeah. And so that it's, you know, it's, how do I put it? It does not have lumps and all that.
Exactly. So you want it smooth, but sticking off the bowl.
Yeah.
Great kneading there.
We won't even be adding more water.
Yeah, it looks like 1 cup is enough.
Yeah.
To make a nice dough.
Yeah. So we continue making the dough. At this point, you can also add a little bit of oil. Evelyn, help me.
Yeah, sure. How much oil do you need?
With the vegetable.
Okay. Is it in tablespoons we're measuring or cups?
Yeah, tablespoons.
Tablespoons. Okay. So how many tablespoons?
2 will be enough.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil.
Oops, sorry.
Okay. And you
So
need
we
that
continue making the dough.
How old is your daughter, Camilla?
Sorry?
Your daughter, Camilla?
Oh, I came with my daughter.
Hi, Camilla. Camilla's here
Camilla,
watching
say
mommy
hi.
make chapatis. So Camilla, can you make amazing chapatis too? Not yet.
Camilla can only make tea and boil rice. Oh, and she loves making toast breads.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So-
we'll have to have her on here.
Yeah, and Camilla would like to be a president and a chef.
Oh, wow. Camilla, you can do anything like your namesake, Miss Kamala
Yeah.
Harris.
So I'm finding my a little light, so I'll add some flour.
Okay, so it's a bit sticky.
Yeah,
So we're gonna add a little bit more flour. Let's say a
a
cup,
cup, yes.
about a cup more flour.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's do
Well, that's
this.
not a cup at all. That's only about maybe,
Half a cup.
yeah, looks like
Yeah.
about half a cup did the trick. Okay, so half a cup of flour. Now we've
So-
got a drier consistency.
This is the major work we do for chapatis. Making the dough to a good taste will guarantee you soft and layered chapatis.
And the way you're kneading it, it's almost like you're punching it in the middle.
Yeah.
And then working your way out. So it's punch out, punch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a mixer, do we call it a mixer or something?
Yeah, mixer.
It makes your work easier if you have it in your kitchen.
Yeah. So Lisa, are you using your, it looks like Lisa is also kneading with her hands.
Yeah, awesome.
And Anita is using a spatula. What about you, Lauren? Are you using your hands or a spatula? Show us if you. Yep, she's got a spoon going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that you're making?
She's using her spoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she with us at our stage?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's at the same stage.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
great. Looks good, Lauren. Excellent.
Evelyn, more flour.
Okay, more flour. We're putting a little bit more flour in there. And how do you know, because it's not sticking to the bowl, that's how you know you need more flour, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of course also sticking to your
I
hands.
think maybe there's another half.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were right. I think about a cup more.
Yeah.
Is how much you put in. So the dough is she say it's hard or hot? Oh, okay. So it's hot. Oh, I think the water was warm.
Yeah,
the
was
water
warm.
should have been warm, so it wouldn't be too hot. Sorry, Anita.
Someone
Yeah.
added hot?
Oh, you're saying. Oh, she's saying she's using a spatula because
Okay.
the dough was too hot to touch. Yeah.
Or because of the butternut?
Yeah, maybe it was the butternut that she blended in addition to the warm water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. It should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got the kneading going. We're kneading.
So we'll need, until the dough does not stick to your hands and your working container, then it will be okay. And then we will cover for about 15 minutes and then we'll make the balls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
This one can make you sweat.
Yeah, this is a workout.
Relax
I
your
feel
biceps.
spoiled because I was going to do this with Priscah, but now that she's over at my house, I kind of get a pass and get to eat.
Yeah, yeah. So oil,
Okay, so we already put 2 tablespoons in,
another tablespoon.
and
maybe.
now we're going to add how
a
much more?
tablespoon.
1 more tablespoon. Okay.
So that
Keep
we are
kneading.
almost done. I can already see. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So maybe we can talk about the accompaniments that we use together with chapati.
Yeah.
For us guys, it's basically an anytime
When you
meal.
say us guys, you mean here in Kenya?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Here in Kenya, we can have chapatis for any meal. We can
Yeah.
have it for breakfast with tea.
Nice.
We can have it for lunch or dinner.
And this is black Kenyan tea or
Yes.
masala tea.
Yes,
Spice.
yes.
Yeah.
We can have it over lunch hour with your favorite stew. That would be your legumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Your
vegetable
green,
stew?
yes, green grams, beans.
Green grams.
Yeah.
So Anita has spent a lot of time here in Kenya, and when she came, she asked for green grams, and I was embarrassed to tell her I had no idea what they were. What kind of, is it a small lentil or is
The
it?
green, yes.
Yeah.
I think you call them lentils.
Are they lentil beans, like little ones? I have little lentils here. So these are like the Indian dal lentils.
Oh, yeah.
These are too
But,
small, maybe.
Okay, I'm not talking about this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have to teach that on our next show.
Yeah. So,
Great.
Traditionally, this was a very, very special meal in the family. That if it was being made, you'd be a celebrity in the estate.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very rare delicacy. It's not like today you would walk and make chapatis in the streets.
Oh wow.
It was very rare.
So it was like the rich and
So
powerful.
it was really a meal to look forward to. And when mom was making this, even the kids would play around to just
celebrate.
Yes.
We have a bit of that happening here too. On Chapati Day, the kids are always waiting.
Yeah. Even I think I'll read more for that.
Okay, so we're gonna add
half a cup,
maybe half a cup of flour. Okay. A nice sprinkle.
It has to be very, very.
It has to be very dry. It seems
Yeah.
like. Yeah, that was about half to 3/4 cup more flour. And you keep kneading.
Anyone done? Yeah. So this is where a lot of work is, Evelyn.
And how long do you think you need it in order to get to the right feel?
For the 1 kg that we've done, this would take about maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we let it rest for about 15 minutes again.
Okay.
And then we make the balls and roll and then cook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I can see my dough is now taking shape. It's not, you can see it's now not touching the
it's
sides
sticking
of
off the bowl. That's perfect. Yeah.
So once it does that, then you know it is now fine.
It looks like serious work.
It is. Now this is perfect. You can see the butternut, the yellow.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
not
can
white.
see it. It's very blended in.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's yellow though.
So if you have your kitchen towel, you can cover it.
Oh, okay.
Or a cling film. Yeah.
Clear film, like a plastic wrap?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to cover the dough with plastic wrap, looks like, completely.
Yeah.
Completely cover it.
Let it tray so that it can.
Okay. So now we'll cover it and then maybe we'll check in with everyone who's cooking with us and see how you're doing with getting your dough to the right consistency. I'm really happy to see their other sous chef here. Hi, Mama T. It makes it a whole lot easier to have someone here to help you. Priscah's washing her hands.
Yeah.
So we've got the dough covered. And the point of covering it is so it can rise now. Or what would you say is the point of covering? Is it going to rise? Or?
Not really to rise. We don't need our chapatis raised because
Okay.
we never added any yeast or something.
Right.
But just to be consistent.
Oh, okay.
So time, covering it gives time to be consistent enough so that when we are rolling, it is easy to roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were saying, Priscah?
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was saying I come from Nyanza. Traditionally, chapati is not our natural stable food, but it's been really largely adopted and assimilated into our culture, and it's become part of our meal. If you visit any Kenyan home today, chapati would probably be the best meal they'd make for you. So yes, it's in Kenya make chapatis differently, yeah. And every single day, people devise more ingredients to add into chapati and more different ways of making chapatis. So what I'm doing today basically is something that has been handed down by my mom. It's a recipe from my mother's kitchen. And yeah, from wherever you can, they say cooking is an art. You can always find ways of devising on how to make your chapatis more palatable to your family. Yeah.
And what's interesting about chapatis is, I think throughout the entire Swahili zone, wouldn't you say all the neighbors are eating chapati regularly as well, especially Tanzanians, Ugandans, Mombasa area, Kenya, So it's really like Swahili culture food that the Arabs brought, No, that's interesting. So, Priscah, the other thing is you're a writer. And recently you wrote a very interesting article about feminism and culture.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to see that we're, having these conversations about our role as women and what does that mean in terms of our African culture that we're raised with, the principles and the norms that are in us, like a woman must cook, for instance. So what was your bottom line, you think, about your position about culture and how it intersects with feminism and women's empowerment?
Yeah, so allow me to a little bit talk about my growing up and my childhood, and specifically the culture of where I come from, where even there's some parts of chicken that a woman is not supposed to eat. Wow. So when a friend approached me, she's the CEO of the Efficient Woman magazine. It's really, really a new magazine in the Kenyan social space. And she's a very young lady, and she looks forward to talking to women and how they maneuver through leadership and politics, and especially the position of the woman in the Kenyan context. So I also come from a tribe, or rather a culture, where women are circumcised.
Which tribe
so
is
that is Kisi.
The Kisi tribe.
Yeah, the Kisi tribe. So growing up, we were privileged to grow up out of our local or rural town. So we went to a town where circumcision was not, to girls, was not a normal thing, or was not the culture in that space. So my maternal grandmother, when I attained the age of 10, like my daughter, started pressurizing my mother
that she should
that
be circumcised.
I should be circumcised. And my father really stood up for myself, because at that time I was just myself and my brother. We were just two siblings. So, and that is the point when he tried to make me understand why I should not be circumcised and why I should stand up to be as natural as I am, that I am okay as I am, that I don't need circumcision to be a woman in society. That is when I identified myself as a feminist, and I appreciated my father, that he really appreciates women in society.
So at that time, you didn't even know that being circumcised would have an impact on your life. You just were like, oh, why shouldn't I be circumcised?
But my mother could not see the reason why I should not be circumcised. You get? Because it was a normal thing, them growing up and getting circumcised. So at this point is when I became very close to my dad, and over time, even to date, I have very great conversations with my dad about women. So when this CEO of Efficient Magazine approached me and asked me such questions, that what do you think? Do you think women are defying tradition to become feminists, or what is the most difficult thing to transition from our traditional cultural norms, to be a modern woman and voice out yourself, then send me a set of questions. That is when I wrote those stories. And just to also mention that women were not supposed to inherit property,
Right.
in our cultural society. But until 3 years ago that my dad revealed his will to us, all of us have got an equal share of property.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And he has made my brothers understand that we are all his kids.
So powerful.
Yes, we are all his kids. No one is less, and no one is entitled to his property, but he's going to share it equally. And my brothers are one of the most supportive guys that I've met, that really, really support women and respect women. So it's not a normal talk every day. Recently, in our celebrity space, we saw some messages leaking out of a celebrity guy that cheated on the wife and started having different opinions. And most people, men and women, they were saying that it's actually the lady that did a mistake and forced the husband to go and
which is a
cheat.
common reaction.
So it's usually a very, very hard discussion.
Like, what didn't she do?
Yes.
Or what did she do?
And then she even came out and said, oh, she's going to fast and pray for the marriage.
Oh, okay.
She's sorry that this is a small mistake that happened. And sometimes it's difficult to hold such conversations in some of these spaces, because I'm talking in the context of Kenya, most Kenyan men, their masculinity is very toxic to date. They will not appreciate that a woman has gone to school and they stand the same table to voice out their issues and opinions. So you speak your opinion and point, but no, you're a woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when men are speaking, listen to them. So it's really a different. But I can tell you there are most men, like my own father, that really don't. They really hold women in esteem in society. My own dad today tells me, it's not a must to get married. You can still achieve your dreams. You can still live your full life without a man.
Yeah, I think that everything you've said right now, we could probably write like 15 papers on each subject, because each one is so, you're talking about your father empowering you, male involvement.
Yes.
You're talking about how you're empowered, and you call yourself a feminist here in Kenya, which feminism here in Kenya is actually almost like a dirty word. Like nobody,
exactly.
Priscah and I worked together, and we had this Women's Day. We were talking about women's empowerment in the workplace, and one of my Kenyan colleagues, a woman, stood up and said, please, Evelyn, the one thing I hope is that you will not mention feminism in this context. So, and this was like, in front of 100 or so Kenyan women. And I think that for you to call yourself a feminist, it's pretty powerful, especially here. Yeah.
And whenever even in my friend circle, my fellow girlfriends, whenever I start the word by saying that I'm a proud feminist, they will always take it to the negative end.
Yeah.
They never see the positive side of it.
Right.
Like, you're fighting for men, why don't you fight for women? Why don't you fight for men? I'm just voicing out my opinion. It doesn't say that I hate men or I don't want to voice for a boy child. If for sure I see a guy that is being looked down upon, it's fine to also talk about it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can talk about women issues proudly does not mean I hate men.
And here in Kenya, what I've noticed is a lot of people will talk about the male child being ignored or neglected because there's so much focus on girls and women's empowerment. But when you look at the socioeconomic indicators in the country, girls and women are far behind.
Exactly.
But still people, even women, are saying, no, let's stop talking about girls' empowerment. Let's focus on the boys. They're being neglected. What's your opinion about that? Do you think that boys here in Kenya are just not getting what they need?
I think honestly, boys and men still have the upper masculine advantage in the Kenyan context. I was reading a book, a memoir by Wangari Maathai, and as late as in the 1970s, almost to the 80s, she could not even vie for the parliamentary seat.
Wow.
And it was a headline, and they're like, no, you look like you're a woman who has defied their family and to come and to even have the guts to vie for a parliamentary seat. You're not even respecting your husband, and she separated, and she was working at the university at that time, and she was evicted from the university. and she was denied some rights. And when she even stood up to fight for environmental conservation, she faced a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
And it is happening today. Yeah, a woman would rightly and very qualified want to vie for a political seat of a leadership role, and they're like, "Do you mean there's no man who can take this position? Do you have to give a woman? You know, you have to be married to vie for some political positions." And really, it's not that the boy child is not being helped, but the fact is the girl child is still underprivileged as we speak today.
Education,
yes,
employment,
yes. And even in the religious circle, when you're not married, people like.
So it's about the single woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a single parent. They will call you a single woman.
Yeah. And we're both single mothers, and I think that you're incredibly empowered and young. You have your daughter; she's very strong. How do people see you as a single mom raising a 12-year-old on your own?
I don't know what front we'll be talking about. Is it in the social setting?
Yeah, in the social sense, and in your. I mean, clearly your father has empowered you, but just generally speaking, it seems like I run into many single mothers here, especially in Nairobi, and they seem like they live pretty well-adapted, independent lives. So it doesn't seem like there's a stigma, but maybe there's an undercurrent that you don't see, that people don't just,
On a personal level, I think I come out strongly, clearly, that no one can pin me down because I'm a single mother or what. But I know some people really face, even in the social gatherings, you know, it will look like you're so sinful, you cannot speak.
Okay.
But I think there's that wave of some middle generation that has embraced that. The older generation that is a bit fading, those ones still have the traditional opinions. But I think slowly people are embracing this culture. A woman is even able to decide that, yes, I can have a kid and I want to raise the kid alone. And people will respect that. But there's the older generation, which are our parents, that we are still facing, you know,
stigma,
social misfit and stigma. And they're like, no, they push you, you know, you read, and then you really have to be supple and get married because you're a single mother. Like it's a favor you're being done for. You know,
so that
like it still looks right in society to have that perfect societal family of a mother, father, and kids. Are we 15 minutes?
Oh, I think we've been talking for longer than 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, we can start making our
Shall we? So it looks like some comments are coming out. Lisa is also a young lady who was empowered by her father. So yay for more Kenyan men. So it looks like what's happening here, Priscah? You're measuring out a few cups of flour.
This one is just to be able to roll up our dough.
So the flour on the side is going to help your fingers not get stuck in the dough. So that's the purpose. Anything else you're bringing over?
I want to put my oil.
Okay. And how much oil?
The towels.
The napkin.
Just wipe the bowl.
Yeah. So we're getting the vegetable oil. How much vegetable oil are you going to use?
No, this one just put some generous amount because it will be.
So let's say a cup of oil aside as part. We're going to start rolling the chapatis. If you have a rolling pin, I think that'll be really helpful.
Yeah, this is how it looks.
Yeah. So we've got a rolling pin, and you're going to roll on the counter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to roll on the counter. So we want to make sure that you see what she's doing. We've got the oil. Yeah.
So we want to start making the balls.
So Anita's asking for Priscah's article, and I haven't officially invited her to. Oh, okay. Alice has already responded. We have a ghost ATF person here. It's Alice, our co-founder, is responding to your questions. Thank you, Alice. We would love to have Priscah on our blog, and we'd love to put you on our website. And yeah, if you allow, we can also send the article here as well. Is it already on the magazine as well? Yeah.
Yes,
and Alice has shared the link.
Online magazine.
Yeah. So we already have the link of the magazine, and we'd also love to feature you on our website as well.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll make the small balls out of a big ball.
Okay. So you're using the flour to kind of keep your hands dry as you're flipping it. Okay, and when you say balls, she's actually making circles, right?
Yeah.
She's making a big circle. Is that it?
Are we together?
Yeah, how's it going? Rolling a big circle, sprinkling the flour as you roll. Also keeps the rolling pin will be dry as well.
Yeah. Sometimes I fail to describe. So.
Yeah, so I'm helping.
Thank you, Evelyn. You're so helpful.
Yeah, she's sort of flipping it, and hopefully you all can see. She's at every roll, she's flipping, sprinkling, and rolling it bigger and bigger. So that's really interesting.
So the spoon.
And then so it's like she's divided the dough in half, actually, right?
You can.
So one half is being rolled out into the circle and sprinkled, and the other half is on the side.
Yeah.
So it's just
we'll just do the same procedure.
Yeah, it's getting to be a bigger circle. Anyone else rolling with us? Are we all together? We rolling? Sophia has a lot to say on mute. What are you doing?
So the idea of spreading it out so that we can make it's not so thick. We want to make the layers in the chapatis.
Okay.
So this is the procedure.
So this is how chapatis are so flaky with layers.
Yes.
Okay, so you're rolling it. You don't want it too thin, but not too thick.
Yes.
So, maybe about a pinch thickness between the,
So we'll get our vegetable oil.
Okay, olive oil and a spoon.
And then spread.
All right, so now spreading the oil.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're reminding me of my childhood too. My mom had me stuck in the kitchen quite a bit with the oil and the baking and the...
To help out?
Yes, a lot.
What's your view that the girl's position is the kitchen? Why do you think when we grow up, mothers will call girls more in the kitchen and not the boys?
I'm telling you, even in my house, my brothers were not allowed in the kitchen. They could maybe clean a little bit. And where I'm from in Sierra Leone, where cassava leaves is our major dish, apparently men do a lot of the pounding of the cassava leaves. But it really is women's work. And, I guess this is part of those toxic norms you're talking about.
Can I tell you something? My dad still cooks for us today.
Wonderful.
He does. But he has a problem with serving.
Oh, he doesn't serve.
And leave everything in the kitchen. Can I get a knife?
Yeah. So he'll cook and then everyone else will serve. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're getting a smooth blade knife. Smooth blade. And
then you can use like your 3 fingers to measure the thickness of how we are going to cut. We want to make the balls, the chapati balls. So I think I'm experienced. I just use my hands, but you can use your 3 fingers.
So it's 3 fingers in terms of the width of the cut.
Yes.
So you're slicing the dough into strips.
Yes.
And then you're going to make balls.
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
So then slicing. Very nice. This is so exciting.
Are we together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got one that you're going, and the other one is still half the dough is still on the other side waiting. Yes. And you're going to go through the same process.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so we're slicing
that's
away.
it. And now we will do the balls.
Okay, now you're rolling it. Okay,
yes.
Nice. Very nice.
So again, depending on the size of your pans, I've seen Evelyn's pan is not very wide enough. We don't want to make them so thick and so big.
So should we get a bigger pan?
You have a bigger one?
Yeah.
Ah, awesome.
Yeah, okay.
So we are just making the balls.
Okay.
That is how it looks like. And you can already see the spiral. Yeah, that is
okay. So big frying pan here.
So anyone sees the spiral shape?
Class.
Yeah, yes, awesome. That's what will make the layers in our chapatis. So we'll roll that and let it on the surface to rest as we roll the rests. No, wait. Time we're doing the last one, we'll hit it up. So just roll and roll. Sometimes you feel it's going to be big, just cut it halfway, it's fine. How many people are we cooking with?
So it looks like we have Anita, Lauren. How many people are cooking? Alice?
I'm cooking along.
Yeah. Looks like we have
Awesome, awesome. That's a
nice
good-
3 cooks. Tamara, welcome. While we're rolling, maybe we all can do a round of introductions.
Awesome.
Oh, hi, Sophia. Look at your roll. Perfect. Very nice.
Good girl.
So,
Hi, Evelyn. Hi,
Hi,
Priscah.
Hi.
Sorry, you know, the reason why I'm not cooking is because someone made about, I'll send you guys a picture, the exact same recipe for chapatis, but yesterday, so I have about 20 chapatis. So I think maybe I should ease up on the chapatis. But I'm glad to be watching you make it. Thank you.
Tamara, would you like to introduce yourself? Who are you?
Sure. Yes, so my name is Tamara Cummings-John, and I am British Sierra Leonean, and I moved to Kenya 2 years ago from New York, and I work for the UN. I work for UN Women actually, and I'm in HR. So I met Evelyn and Alice as well, I think, at the Black Women in Development, which was a networking group, a networking group that I was part of. So yeah, so thanks, and happy to join you guys today and listen in the conversation.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I think we have some new faces here who haven't been to our previous events, which is nice.
Oh, Sorella.
Yeah, hi.
You know Sorella?
Of course, she's part of
Oh,
ATF.
yeah.
So we have some new staff actually at the forefront of our ATF consulting business here in Kenya that are here with us. And one of them is Ms. Sorella Sari, who's our research consultant. Karibu, Sorella. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Cyril, I'm the research consultant. I worked with Evelyn, and I believe Priscah used to help me when I was studying M&E, and Evelyn was telling me about a communication and marketing intern, and I'm glad to know it's Lisa because she is a relative. So I was actually...
Happy family.
We've hired 2 relatives. Is there any ethics? Are we okay?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not cooking because I've seen Priscah making chapatis. Personally, I prefer the original chapati. I don't mix with anything. It's just the flour, ghee, water, and that's all. I won't mix with anything. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Arella. Welcome.
Okay.
Lisa,
Thank you.
maybe you can introduce yourself as our communications marketing intern. Welcome to At the Forefront. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Lisa. I'm in Nairobi right now, and starting this past week, I'm the marketing and communications intern, and now I know I have a relative in the company. So, great.
Fantastic. Welcome, Lisa. We're so happy to have you with us. Who else? We've got some other folks here. Hard at work. Lauren, Anita will let you cook while you, Nana are part of our ATF leadership.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Nana.
Hi, I'm calling from DC. Have been part of ATF for a while. I've been on mute and video off because of my my mini assistants who are very noisy. But I'm glad to be on and watching the steps. It's interesting to see this kind of chapati because I think like Sorella was just saying, have usually just seen the plain ones. So I've been noting things down. Thanks, Priscah.
So she's got her rolls here.
Yeah.
Looking lovely.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Again, traditionally we used to count them. So
Oh,
have now
many?
made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 chapatis.
15 chapos. We call them chapos here,
Yes,
right?
yes. So at this stage, you can choose 2 ways. You can either directly start cooking them, or you can let the balls rest for about, again, 10 more minutes or 15. It's purely just for consistency, but it's perfectly okay if you roll out now and we start cooking. So we'll just get to heating our pan so that we can start making the chapatis. I can see those we are cooking together with are still rolling. I don't know if we would wait for them, Eve. Awesome. This is beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful rolls there, Anita, Sophia, Mama T. Lauren, we see you hard at work there. Who's the third one cooking? I think it's Lisa, yeah? Okay, yeah, we want to see. How's it looking? All right, you've got your rolls. You've got a lot of chapos there.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's like 3 days meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically 1 chapati can serve 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
These ones with layers, they're usually very heavy.
Oh,
so you
okay.
cannot complete
One person cannot eat a whole chapo.
Too much.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will proceed and
Okay.
heat our pan
Okay.
so that we can strain.
So you're heating the pan, and do you have any oil in there, anything?
We heat fast. We
Okay.
let it- And then evening
This
will
is,
help
this
me.
is mine.
So we let it heat for about 2 minutes, right? And then we will start rolling out. Okay. For the team that we are cooking together with, I'm just watching and I'm thinking I should wait for them a little bit.
Okay. We can wait.
Priscah, ask Evelyn if I can come for some chapatis. I'm just around the corner.
Oh, please. There are so many, we can't finish.
You're
welcome.
Sorella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so here's the interesting thing. Sorella is from Mombasa. And
Oh, you should be
Mombasa
cooking very
is the
nice
home
chapatis.
of the chapati,
Yeah.
Sorella. So, I mean, do you trust Priscah's chapatis? And you're from the coast.
Okay, I am from Western Kenya originally. An area called Budalangi.
Kenya, if I may ask,
What?
which part of Western Kenya?
Budalangi, Port Victoria.
Because I grew up in Bungoma, so in my
Oh, no. Budalangi, but I've been raised in Mombasa. So that's.
You should make us biryani.
Oh, yes. Biryani.
I,
Pilau.
Pilau.
Pilau is okay. Evelyn
Are
has
the
been
police
raised
following
with
them?
Pilau.
Yeah, you should make pilau with us.
Okay.
So, yeah, so my pan is ready. I'll start with the rolling.
Yeah, but 2 layers.
You're sprinkling some flour first.
Yeah. Again,
In the middle.
just
Same
avoiding
thing,
sticking.
just
Yeah?
to avoid the stickiness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I like how soft they are.
Yeah.
You
Can I
didn't have to
feel
struggle.
them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are your hands
wow.
clean?
I think so. If not, we'll find out.
Yeah. I like how soft they are.
Yeah. Very
So
nice.
you just roll out when it's really this soft and completely consistent. It's very easy to roll them
Oh,
out.
nice.
Yeah.
So now you're rolling them again.
So again, we also say in Kenya, jokingly, that we don't mind about the shape. You can make the map of Africa, but the chapatis are supposed to be round, but really it's usually, again, with practice, you will learn how to make them more rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they will look like the Kenyan map. Yeah.
So can I wash my hands so I can roll one?
Yes.
Just make sure I'm all set. I'm very embarrassed to say that I eat chapatis every week here in Kenya, and I have never made them or rolled a chapati in my life. So I'm very
It's okay. There's always a starting point.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like.
So I notice you're still rolling. Is it because you want them as thin as possible?
Yes.
So
Yeah. Not really.
Nice.
As people, you can have it to your liking. You can have them thick or thin,
Right.
but I like them thin because I like them really cooked.
Okay.
Very well cooked. Yeah, I wanted to just.
So tea is also a main big deal here. in
Yes.
Kenya. Drinking with Kenyan tea.
Cheese. So this one is okay. So I'll just check my pan. I'll reduce. So here goes my pan.
To my Gino. Okay, so it looks like Priscah has put the first chapati down, and you have oil in there or no?
Not yet.
So there's no
I'll-
oil.
I'll just
The
dry-
pan is just hot.
Dry the
And
side.
dry.
After it dries, is then what I'll put some little oil because we did a lot of vegetable oil
Okay.
so
Okay, so
Yeah.
right now we're just, okay, nice.
Yeah.
And it looks like you need a spatula. Yeah,
Yes,
to flip
yes.
it. Okay.
I need a plate to place.
And then a plate. Nice. Great.
So each side will take about a minute to cook.
Okay.
Nice. You feel like helping me?
Yeah, I would love to
Awesome.
help you. I would love to roll. May I roll for you?
The third one.
The third one. She doesn't trust me with the first two.
They don't want you to struggle and anything. It's so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just make them thin. That way we make it cook so fast. You can help me turn.
Okay, I can flip everything. Awesome.
When the heat is too low,
Yeah.
too low, it will make the chapatis hard.
Okay, so
So we need to regulate it to some medium heat. So medium heat, yes.
okay.
So it's okay.
Okay.
So so after you turn your chapati, you dry one side. After the minute, turn it. It's okay, don't worry. That's the map we were talking about.
I've apparently made the map of Kenya here with this chapo.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a good one. You already had rolled that one.
Yeah. So Evelyn is trying a crafts class here.
And I'm not, I do
Then
jollof.
when you do that, you
This
don't
whole-
exert a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
just
spread
lightly
your hands.
roll it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually not that easy
It's not.
as it looks. That's a very light roll. Okay. I'll make a circle.
You see how it's
Yeah.
yeah.
So what it is now it's bubbling up a bit.
Yes.
If you're
No,
already
those
in
are the
stove.
layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the layers
Yeah.
bubbling up.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you add some oil?
Yes, just a little bit.
Okay, so we add
Yeah.
some oil,
So we flip
add
it.
some oil, flip, and then it's kind of bubbling up inside.
Yes, those
Yeah.
are the layers now.
Ah, okay.
So that when we tie it, it turns like
Oh, flaky. Yes, very nice. This now is looking like Sierra Leone. This is looking like Sierra Leone now.
Oh.
Okay.
You've tried.
I've tried.
It's a good one.
Hey, asante.
So you're making chapatis once a week?
Once a week.
Yeah. In your menus, even if you make 6 of them, that would be about a quarter a kg.
Oh my gosh. How are we doing, Anita, Lauren, Lisa? How's it looking? Priscah's making jokes about my strange looking chapos.
Nice, I like the yellow.
Yeah, the yellow color is very nice. The butternut is definitely a nice, healthy touch to the dish. Well done. So those of you watching that are not cooking, are you tempted to try this yourself now that you have the recipe and see the process? If you've never made chapos before. I think I could do this.
You can.
I should stop being spoiled and just eating and start making them.
Yeah. First chapati is done.
All right, first one's done. Anybody else also on the stove?
Yeah, you can make it.
Awesome. We have our first chapo here. Nice. Like once it dries, then the oil. When do you know when to add the oil?
You just do a little bit of it. You can actually do without oil because we really added enough oil when we were kneading and rolling them out.
Okay.
So just a little, very little oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyone else in the cooking stage?
I'm on that part where you like put it on the pan without the oil.
Ah, okay. Is that Lisa? You're ready. Well done. Oh, I like that. Anita, rolling. Lauren, let's see. Are you at the cooking stage?
We're cooking here.
All right, wonderful.
I like how round yours are. That's a good one.
The first two are like square though.
This one she turned the video on. Very nice.
So yeah, with practice, you can actually do this you can cook chapatis in less than 30 minutes.
Wow, really?
Yes.
I've seen people do a whole day of making chapatis less than 30
For
minutes.
commercial purpose.
No, here in this kitchen. So,
A whole day.
yeah, it's like a whole this works. Want some honey in your tea?
No, you can't have it without honey.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say you had enough honey. Very nice. I can't wait to taste.
So to just moisturize them, again, it's advisable and just put some napkins underneath to maintain the moisture. Yeah, like that. So then you don't really dry.
And what's your favorite thing to eat with chapatis?
Myself?
Yeah.
Green grams.
Green grams. These are the mystery beans.
Yeah.
Beans. And what do you put in the beans? Do they have curry or
You can put caramel in in the meal, I mean in the green rice. And any other spices. Personally, I make them with some garlic and some curry powder.
Very nice.
And now some coconut milk.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so we'll definitely have you back for that. Yeah. So
We actually had some milk, so we thought when you're coming over, you would eat a whole
Oh, I did. Very nice. Okay. So if you all are cooking and want to see more of what's happening on the stove over here,
the map of Africa, this one.
So
Don't
this
worry
is
about
my
the
chocolate.
shape, but it's still the same content.
This one is mine.
So you really just keep checking. As I said earlier, it takes about 3 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes to cook one chapati. Dry one side, turn it over, put some little oil and turn it over. So it is so yellow. I like it myself. I like my chapatis yellow. Maybe some other time you make brown chapatis.
Oh wow, how do you make it brown? Is it cinnamon?
The same procedure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what makes it brown?
It's wholemeal.
Wholemeal.
Yes, it's
Okay, so wholemeal flour. So that looks like Lauren's. Lauren's will be brown because she's using flour. Yeah.
This is wheat flour processed.
Oh,
But the
processed.
brown one is with the husks and
Oh, okay. So it's kind of a raw. Okay. Oh, interesting.
with lots of butter.
Oh, wow.
So our second is done.
Very nice.
There we go. So we will just add another one. Nice. So cooking chapatis is quite an exercise. You keep walking, rolling. So also another trick with rolling is that don't exert so much pressure. You'll make your rollouts to be so thin in the middle, and as a result, they'll be hard when you cook.
Okay.
So you just a little pressure. Don't press your rolling pin so hard on it. Yeah, the the dough is consistent enough, so it will just roll out so nicely like that. So that's a nice medium-sized chapati there.
Yeah, I think Alice is just bringing up this point about why in East Africa are chapatis so popular versus other parts. For instance, in West Africa, I don't know if there are other, we have Nana from Ghana, Tamara from Sierra Leone. We don't have, at least I haven't eaten. Well, what do you think? I think it is Sahel. Perhaps Senegal, Ghana, Mauritania, maybe there's some kind of pita bread-like starches, but for the most part, we don't have starches that we eat regularly every day, similar to chapati. So, is it the Arab influence and the Swahili, culture here in East Africa that makes chapati so popular, and then also the South Asian influence? South Asians also eat a lot of chapatis as well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
Not really attribute it to the Swahili influence. Yeah. Because today, as I said before, you walk to any home, chapati is like the best meal that will be served. Any traditional marriage, talks or weddings, like if a chapati misses in your normal, people will say, no, we didn't eat chapati in this place because there was no chapati. Yeah. So I think it's the influence, and I think there's also an assumption that it is a very nice meal. Because as I said before, traditionally, you would eat chapati then once in a month. So it became something prestigious to look forward to. Yeah. And even today, it's still very interesting. Yeah. Like chapati is a delicacy. Yeah. So it's basically it's the influence.
That's why yeah. Any other thoughts from our Kenyan East African folks? Oh, we have an African studies professor here. She's telling us more about the impact of British colonialism So let's see. Dr. Plummer, who is a professor at African Studies at Howard University, she says that during British colonialism, there was a large-scale 4 military factories in Nairobi that distributed flour across East Africa to the manufacturer base. And it was well established for flour-based food products. Millet, interesting. Colonialism does have quite an impact on our cultures. I mean, even when you look at our consumption of tea, we know that British colonialism really fuels our consumption of tea on the continent as well as many other places around the world. And chapatis are just one of many, impacts of colonialism. So that's interesting. Huh.
And also, I think the professor is right, because wheat is produced in very, very large scales, especially in the Rift Valley, which is the food basket. So I think it's also pushing the masses to consume for market. Because it's really, it's a main agricultural activities, especially in the Rift Valley.
What do you think about the nutritious impact of chapati? I mean, would you say that this is a nutritious food? Or would you say that, adding butternut really makes a difference in terms of making it more healthier? But what does it mean in terms of the health of the Kenyan people and people who consume chapatis on a daily basis, 3-4 times a day?
I'm not a nutritional expert, but I'll say there's been really a lot of campaign, especially a way of eating healthy, and people tend to associate carbohydrates with adding weight. So it's recommended that you eat really, really minimum carbohydrates. Wheat is a high carbohydrate content food. So yes, they say chapati is high carbohydrate. They tell us so eat brown ones.
Okay, so it looks like we have a question from Sorella. Sorella, did you want to ask your question?
It's not it's not a question, but I wanted to say something regarding chapatis, the way you're talking. Chapatis, people eat mostly. It's more of a common thing in Nairobi being made on the streets. That's something that I've observed. In Mombasa, most people prefer, there are other types of, it's more of sorry for that. Chapatis in Mombasa, most people just make them in their home, and it's very rare that they are sold like a street food, like Mtura type. Priscah will understand what I'm talking about, or any Kenyan.
He knows Mtura.
Yeah. So it's very hard for you to find someone in Mombasa just making chapatis and selling it. They prefer things like potatoes, we call them viazi karai, mahamri. Mahamri is also, it's, Priscah, what's mahamri in English?
It's a type of mandazi.
Okay.
Yeah, so
like a donut. Yeah.
Donut is quite different, but let's just say it's a donut. So chapatis in different area in Kenya, they are like Evelyn here, you're saying people eat it on a daily basis. If you put it maybe in Western Kenya or even some other parts of Central Kenya, people eat it during occasions, not on a daily basis.
Sure.
Yeah, so in urban area, you can put this in aspects of in urban areas, chapatis can be found on a daily basis because of business opportunities. But if we now look it in the Kenyan the tribal aspects, chapati is not something that we regard it as a staple food. In the beginning, you mentioned it as a staple food. Chapati is not even close to a Kenyan staple food. It's something that we borrowed. Maybe the Swahili can bring it, but yeah, that's what I'll say. So different cultures in Kenya view chapatis in different ways. Some it's a staple food. Some is something that we can is eaten during occasions. That's something that I just wanted to add.
Thank you for that coastal perspective.
I have a coastal and western perspective, so for me, I'm mixing two.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, there's something unique about that coastal cuisine. And yeah, Sorella, we're gonna definitely call you up for something.
It's because of the diversity. We have so many tribes in Mombasa, and it's not only tribes. Even if you go down history lane, you get to see that the Arabs, the Portuguese, everyone was going to the coastal area. So they got to intermarry and even have different tribes being formed. Like the Swahilis are bred between the Arabs and the Bantus. Something that was created because of that intermarriage. So coast, it has so many cultures. That's how people get to, yeah.
So Lauren, it looks like you're taking a seat. Are you taking a break? Or are you all done cooking all your chapatis? She's like, I'm taking a break.
Ashley will freeze half of the dough that I made. I'm gonna put it in the freezer so I can make it later.
Oh, okay.
That's because I'm like trying to like watch my carbs intake right now. So.
But did you eat any of the ones you made?
I did, and they were delicious. Thank you very much.
Oh, nice. We'd love to see your final products. Please show us.
Okay, they're not perfectly round. However, they were delicious. Can you see? Oops, can you all see?
Oh, they're brown. The wheat version. Yeah.
Yeah, healthy version. I was trying to do the healthy thing. I picked up this COVID weight, so forgive me.
So Anita has a question. She wants to know, Priscah, do the balls have to be cooked immediately, or can she refrigerate the balls and cook them later?
Yeah, you can refrigerate as long as you try to keep them moist.
Yeah,
but definitely not in the freezer. Even I've seen in supermarkets that some people actually make the round rollouts and they package and sell. So I think, yeah, you can refrigerate. I've not personally tried, but you can refrigerate for sure. Yeah, I do it. Maybe you can help with the cooking.
the whole idea of cooking with a rolling pin, I must say, is something that I did not grow up doing much of. I'm not a baker. Yeah. And our West African food is mainly fufu, rice, those starches, we're frying, we're grilling, we're doing palm oil, greens, but the whole rolling pin, I'm just like, oh, this is, for someone that's done some project, it's new. Yeah, it's a new concept. It's not as easy as it looks, for sure.
But it's all practice, right?
Yeah, practice.
Say that again?
I'm like chapati.
Oh, so you're eating chapati?
What? What is this?
Oh, and look at her. Is it good? She loves it. Wow.
What tea are you having it with?
Are you drinking tea? You must drink tea with your chapos, Sophia.
Tea. She has honey. She's dipping it in honey.
Oh.
Wow.
Some of us are weight, some of us not so much. Very nice.
Chapati and honey. Interesting.
That is yummy. Wow, so we have just about 29 minutes left, and I just want to say, Priscah, this is quite amazing. We've already made a big stack of chapos, and I think we'll keep going. And I'm just so happy to have you here at the forefront on our cooking series. This has been exciting. I think it's been interesting for all of us that even eat chapos. For me, I've never actually stood this close and watched them getting made and got my hands into it. So yeah, this is exciting. I love the butternut squash piece, and I think I'll continue to do that as well in my chapos, to put something healthy in there. And of course, all of you who are cooking with us, thank you so much for your time. If you'd like to stay with us, please do continue. Email us at info@theforefront.net. Visit our website, www.attheforefront.net. We are a collective of women all over the world who believe in creating safe spaces to have critical conversation. And our cooking series is one of these safe spaces. And so as you can see, the conversation was quite rich today. And I'd like to hear more about what your thoughts are about today's episode of Chapatis with Priscah. And we'd love to have you back. And I'm curious about what some of your thoughts are about the episode. If you'd like to write a blog, if it stimulated you, we welcome all of you to just feel free to contribute to our safe and very inclusive space here at the Forefront.
Sure. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for having me. Thank you so much, everyone else, for joining. Special thanks to those ones who cooked with us. It is motivating to know that someone is cooking with you. You will always give in your best. So looking forward to more of these sessions and many other informative sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think our last few Cooking with At the Forefront series have been very much focused on Africa and the continent. We had jollof rice, we had peanut stew from Niger. Now we're in East Africa with chapatis. And for the next episode, please do look for other areas of the African diaspora. And so I think that'll be very interesting for those of you on the continent to see some of the dishes that are cooked regularly, that are delicacies in the African American and the Caribbean cultures. And then we'll be coming back to Africa as well. So everyone, please send, yes, as Alice is saying, send us photos of your final products, maybe having you eating them as well. And we'd love to see you how they all turned out. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. I've actually not tasted one, so I'm gonna go and taste one.